Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Now, most of you would be familiar with me doing videos with my 2013 Mazda 6, or now that I have it, new videos with the 2021 Mazda 6. Okay, but what you really don't know is that it's not just me and my two Mazdas, a menage a trois, but it's actually a menage a quatre. This is my 2013 Nissan Note. Let's have a look at it, shall we? Now, this guy signifies supercharged. Yes, we'll have a quick look at that in a minute. Let's have a look at the interior. Now she does have keyless entry, pretty much like the 2021, where the call button has to be pushed to open and close. Okay. She's making all this noise at me because the headlights are on. Okay. All right, guys, here we go. 2013 Nissan Note. All right, pretty straightforward. Pretty simple center console. We've got climate control. Down here we have the ubiquitous Nissan Jatco CVT. We'll talk about that in a minute. All right, so we've got some cubby holes here and there. Some of them are totally useless, like this one here. Doesn't fit anything really. It's almost as if, you know, when they designed it, they said, oh, Miyagi-san, we have a space beside the handbrake. What do we do? Then Miyagi-san said, let's put a cubby hole. All right, so we've got cubby hole here, if I can get this gimbal to cooperate. We've got cubby hole just ahead of the gear selector. We have another little shelf here, just below the steering wheel. Okay, over here we have our mirrors. So we've got our electrically operated folding mirrors. As well as adjusting. This is our stop-start feature for the off. We have self-leveling headlights. Okay, this model, as you would have seen earlier, has fog lamps. They're controlled from here. This switchy switch here. Okay, here we have our instrument cluster, and we have our wiper. This car has intermittent wipe, and it does have a rear wiper, as you would have seen. Let's see what's going on here. Let's have a look-see. I know when she starts up, she sweeps, and I love that. Now, looking at it right now, you'll notice this blue glow at the top of the instrument cluster. That signifies that the eco mode, which is right here, if I can get this gimbal to cooperate, the eco mode is on. Okay, when that happens, everything changes. The engine mapping changes, the transmission shifting changes, or shifting or adjusting, whichever you want to call it. It's a CVT. If I can get this gimbal to cooperate. So what happens is, as you drive, you rev the engine, this glowing light will change in size. The wider it is, the more economical you're driving. The narrower, the less so. and there will be an item here that's sliding back and forth here that will tell you how economical your pedal is. So these two combined will give you a pretty good idea of how well things are going for you economy-wise. Okay, now back to the transmission a little bit. Here we have this button here, the power button, or the sport button rather. Okay, and the vehicle has to be in drive. Okay, we go back here, we press the button, boom, there it comes up, sport. Okay, now strange enough, it will default to the sport being off. Every time you turn the car on and off, sport turns off. Strange enough, the eco mode stays on as long as it's, as long as the button is turned on, it stays on. So the car does default to a more economical type of driving. Okay, it's quite cool. Now, you guys will notice here, we actually have a trip computer. This is the time, which is about a minute or so slow. This is our fuel economy. Of course, I'm not driving right now, so it says 0.0 kilometers per liter. Now, I've actually gotten this up to like 27 point something. When you brake, it always goes to 30. But once when I was driving, I actually just nudged 30. Okay, so you guys can do the math on that one to see exactly how many miles per gallon that actually is. So here we have the outside temperature display, 26 degrees Celsius right now. This is our fuel gauge. This is our gear indicator. This is our mileage, how many kilometers we've done. And this is our trip meter. Okay, now this wrench tells us that when the service is due, and we can actually adjust that. Okay, and I'll show you how that works in a second. Okay, within 3 seconds of starting the engine, press and hold the trip meter button until the displayed maintenance distance starts to flash. Once it starts to flash, release, and then press repeatedly until the maintenance distance that you require appears in the screen. However, proceed with caution because this will go all the way up to 30,000 kilometers, and that's an interval that you want to avoid at all costs because that's a recipe for destruction. Once we get to 30,000, it will return to 0, and then it will increase by 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, and so on. When you get to the maintenance distance that you require, release, and when it stops flashing, you're all set. Over here back again, this is our button that changes the page for our trip computer. So my average fuel economy right now is 10.7 kilometers per liter, and this is how many kilometers to empty. This is my average speed, and this is the total time since there was a reset of the system. Not sure why that's important, but anyway. And back to the present economy, kilometers per liter. So this is the button that changes. If you notice, the little icon here goes on and off. I can turn off that feature. This is my trip reset button here. It changes from trip A to trip B, and it also, when I twist it left or right, you notice some little zeros above my hand. That's the illumination. If I can get this thing to focus, there we go. All right, that's the illumination. Okay, all right. So let's have a look at the rest of the interior. Lots of legroom and headroom in here. The only thing that's missing really is pockets. Store your little papers and whatnot. That's sorely missing. Okay. Fair amount of trunk room. On here we have our spare tire jack. Yeah, but actually have a towing loop. Of course, we can drop these back seats. Now, it doesn't fold flat, but there are other models that come with a shelf that's this height, fits on top here, and it makes everything nice and flush. But this car doesn't have that. There are also some models that the back seat can actually be adjusted back and forth, but this car doesn't have that either. Okay. Now, in the event that this seatbelt is in the way, we can always disconnect it here. We first need something to push in the release button of the seatbelt. Here we have the key. It'll work well. It's readily available. Push in the button and the seatbelt is released. We gently thread it through the hook and it's in its resting place. In the reverse, we extend it, put it back in the hook, extend it some more, and voila, we're good to go. Let's have a look at the engine. Here we have it, guys, the business end of the vehicle. Now, this is a 1.2 liter 12 valve inline 3 with a supercharger. Yes. So this also has direct injection. Now, it's very similar engine to the old engine in the Mazda Millennia S, except that that engine was more than twice the size, twice the number of cylinders, more than twice the power. But same principle. Those of you who are so inclined can Google it, YouTube it, see what a millicycle is. So beside the engine, we have ubiquitous Jatco CVT. And those who watch Scotty Kilmer will know exactly how notorious they are. They're not the most reliable, but at least today in Jamaica, there are a lot of people who are fixing them. There are parts available. There's know-how available, so it's not as bad as it used to be. So I know at some point this transmission is going to fail, but I'm not too concerned, to be honest with you. You'll also recall Scotty also talks about the launch gear that is in Nissan and in Toyota and Honda CVTs. Well, this transmission, at least this version of the Jatco CVT, has something similar. They don't call it a launch gear, but what it is a 2-speed conventional step transmission that is between the CVT and the final drive. And what that does, it just gives you a little bit more feel, a little bit more positivity, just all around makes the CVT a little bit better. Okay, a little bit more complexity, but better is better, right? So, for those of you who are going to chastise me for the condition of this engine, how dirty it is, that's fine. That's exactly how I want it. I want a light coating of dust so that I can see if there are any oil leaks, any coolant leaks, any transmission fluid leaks, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is it. This is one of the fuse boxes. Nightmare to get to, won't even attempt to get to that. One of the computers here. I hate when the manufacturers put electronics in the engine bay. Now, what's going to happen in a little while, guys, I'm actually going to be fitting a transmission cooler to this just to make it a little bit more reliable. That's going to happen in a couple hundred, maybe a couple thousand kilometers. All right. So, guys, that's it. This is my 2013 Nissan Note. I love the little car. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. If there's anything that you guys want to see, anything you guys want me to go further into, just drop me a line in the comment section below, and I'll see if I can get that done for you. All right, so guys, thanks so much. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. See you again in the next video.